All right, everybody, today we're going to get into this swarm hive. I was out here the other week, actually last week, going through my hives. And while I was going through all of them, I noticed a swarming going on out here. I'm pretty sure it was my own bees. I went through all my hives. Every hive that I was supposed to have a queen in had one, but I'm pretty sure it was my Italian hive in the back there that's 3 boxes tall. But after going through the hives that day, I caught the swarm later that evening and I put them in this box. It's been about a week ago. So I'm curious to see if the queen is still in there, how much foundation they've drawn out. So let's take a look. It's the first time I've been back in this hive since I put them in here. This is a Apame hive top feeder slash intercover. It's the one that is in 2 halves. They have one that's 1 whole piece I like better. And actually all my hives have those except for 2. This one and 1 more. All the sugar syrup is gone. I had these filled up when I put them in here. So let's get in here and see what's going on. We are in the very northeast corner of Alabama. It's in the mid 70s today. There's a hive beetle. Let's get him. I've learned a lot about hive beetles in the past couple of years. I've tried about every contraption there is out there, and I can tell you what works and what doesn't work for sure. One of the best 2 things to have to combat hive beetles is a strong hive, number 1, and some sort of screen bottom board with some diatomaceous earth underneath helps a lot as well. But let's get in. Now I put 10 frames of undrawn plastic foundation in here. So there's not going to be a lot of propolis or anything like that. I don't expect these bees to be too aggressive, although the hive that I suspect they came from are a little aggressive. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my little jacket on here with a veil. Most of these hives I don't even use a veil for. But you just don't never know. It's always to be safe than sorry. You'll see a lot of people out here on these videos glamorizing working bees without any protection. I don't advise it. You just don't never know what's gonna take place. So it's better to be safe than sorry. Put a pollen patty in there when I put them in here, and that's what's got this inner cover stuck a little bit. When you're working your bees, it's always best to work them real slow. Real slow movements. would say this swarm, when I caught it, was about the size of a 3-pound package of bees. I did see the queen when I installed them, so I know she was in here. The question is she still in here? As you can see, they've just started working on that frame in a few places, putting wax. Looks like they've been working on this other side more than any. I like to go ahead and pull a couple frames out, give yourself a lot of room to move your frames around and look down in there. I see a hive beetle down on the bottom. Bees are harassing it. And when you don't have a lot of bees to start with in your box, especially when you're feeding pollen patties, you will attract hive beetles. Not seen a lot of hive beetles this year until the past few weeks when I started making splits and stuff like that. Seems like they know when a hive's not as strong as it usually is. We got some good combs starting to come out right there. Hive beetle right there at the bottom. Go ahead and get him. Don't see the queen there. All this comb, fresh comb here is filled with nectar. I don't expect to see her on this side. Or on that frame, I mean. Hit them with just a little bit more smoke and get them off that top. I don't want them to smoke too much because I don't want to encourage them to not accept this box. Give them a little bit of smoke. I do see eggs down in these cells, and there's our queen right there, guys. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but she's right there at the end of my hive tool. right there. That does not look like the queen that was in that hive down there. The queen that I was expecting it to be was, or the queen that the hive that I expected this swarm to come from had a real orange belly, like Italian queen. So I'm not sure if it's that hive that swarmed or not. Maybe it was a wild hive. I'm not exactly sure, but they are drawing out these combs. They do have drawing out these frames, and they do have a queen. And she is laying some eggs, so that's good. I think they'll stay in here. Let's see what we got on these other frames while we in here. Got a good amount of bees. Got some nectar up there around the top. There's a bee right there walking around with some pollen, so they are bringing in some pollen, not a whole lot this time of year. Another hive beetle right there. I hate hive beetles. I think what we're going to do in order to get this cluster that was over there more towards the center is the two frames that we took out on this side, we're going to put over here on this side. That way most of the comb that they've drawn out and eggs are in the center of the hive instead of over towards that end on the entrance side. Always make sure you tighten your frames back up before closing your box up. That's very important. Make sure all your frames are tight together. For the proper bee spacing. All right, before we put these fader tops back on, we're gonna smoke these bees down. So we're not smashing bees. This is why I like the single or the one-piece Apamay hive top feeders, is because it actually has a place in the middle for your pollen patty, and the rest of the area is for your sugar syrup. And you don't have to put your patty up under the feeder top like you have to do with the, you don't have to do it with these, because they actually, you can turn these around. It has a candy side. You just flip that around like that. It has a syrup side and a candy side. Syrup side allows the bees to come up through there, not into here, but inside of this piece and drink the syrup. But you can turn that around and they can actually access the inside of this, and then you can put a patty in there. But we'll get more into that on some other videos when I show you the other type style feeder tops. But I think this hive's doing great. I'm gonna give them some more sugar syrup, fill these back up so they can have some more resources to draw out comb and all that. Right now we're trying to get this box drawn out, completely drawn out with comb. But we do have a queen. They are working pretty good. I think that'll do it for the swarm hive update. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment. Any questions you got, I'll try to ask. If you're having problems on hive beetles and you want to know what works and what don't work, leave me some messages. I'll get back to you. Looks like there's one right on my bell, a small one. Anyways, have a good day, guys. Good luck with your bees. Stay tuned for more videos.